Well, here I am at my next location, the glamorous life of a traveling vintage bus mechanic. I'm squeezed in right next to the house here, squeezed in on the driveway. Although this is actually quite luxurious, this is the first time in a month that we're somewhere where our internet on our phones actually works while we're in the bus, so we can get phone calls and use the internet. Plus, we're close enough to the house, we actually have Wi-Fi in the bus. And we get 32 TV channels here. We've not got more than 3 channels any place we've been. So, the comforts of home now. This is our project here. This is a mc5, and it's got quite a few issues going on with it. Some of them are going to be quite challenging for us. But let me go ahead and give you a quick tour of the inside. He is currently doing a conversion on it. Driver's area, real stock. I always like to see that. Obviously it's had a interesting life here, but nice looking area there. And let me step back here. So he's got hardwood floors, lots of wood in here. So no co-pilot seat. Nice little bench area there and breakfast area. Wood on the ceilings. So maybe that's gonna be like a pantry. There's the fridge. Full-size shower. No skimping on the shower. And then it's got the head. Still in progress. And a big bedroom. And lots of storage. So mechanically, I'll tell you what's going on here. First problem was, well, the poor guy drove it in his backyard. All his paperwork when he bought his house said it's on city sewer. Drove it through moved the bus in the backyard and fell through the septic tank. Turns out he wasn't on city sewer, he's on septic, so he had to get the bus with a crane and get it out of the hole. That's very unfortunate. In maneuvering it around, the clutch burned up on it, and he's got no clutch. He's had a couple of other mechanics look at it and tell him that it's burned. There's 0 free play on the clutch pedal right now, so I'll play with it just a little bit just to confirm their diagnosis, but it probably is burned up. So we're going to be replacing a clutch. Meanwhile, the bus doesn't run anymore. I think that it's out of fuel. I went ahead and I threw a string down the tank here, and there's about 4 inches of fuel in the tank. The bus is listing to the opposite side of the pickups. And so I had him get some fuel last night, like 10 gallons, and dump in there, and we'll see if that, I'm assuming it's out of fuel. Because if it was running before, you know, it's going to have compression still, and it's getting air, the shutdown's not tripped on it, so. So here, he's gonna put new airbags on it with block-off plates. The air beams are leaking. There's no clearance between the transmission and the differential here to pull that transmission forward, so the engine has to come out on this mc5. I'm not sure if you can actually see here. It's just so close. Oh. So the real fun then is we have to remove the engine. So we're going to be removing the engine out here in the dirt under a shade tree. The way these MCIs work, that there's 2 long rails that engine rides on, and it's like on a V groove. So the motor mount, there's that V, and the opposite V, the little peak, is how those rails are shaped. And there's 2 of them, one on each side, and they slide on those. So what I'm gonna do is build a big cribbing back here at the same height of those rails, where we can put jacks on it, where the cribbing can come up or down when we load it back in. And I'm going to pull it about 3/4 of the way out, and then take the transmission off inside the housing there. I'm afraid if I pull it all the way out, I'll have a hard time getting it back in on the rails. but I might not be able to get that transmission out inside the engine compartment, but we'll see. If I can, that's the goal. Sliding it, half to 3/4 of the way out and then back in. There's gonna be some sketchy shit going on here, so we got to do what we got to do. Originally, when I signed up for this job, he said he was going to be able to borrow the engine dolly for the MCI, which is a cradle mount that has those basically 2 rails with a jack in it, where you can just slide that engine right out onto it, and it's got wheels. I thought we could put some plywood down here, but it turns out he's not going to be able to get that. So this is where you get creative, and this is what I do. I mean, I'm used to working in the dirt and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm confident that it's out of fuel. I haven't checked anything. I haven't seen it turn over yet. I'm just going by what he said. But the first thing that I checked was that the emergency shutdown's not tripped on the blower housing, so it is getting air then. So just stay tuned to this project, and I'll shoot videos all along the way. Probably going to be quite entertaining. I'm going to jack the front end of the bus up too to get a little better angle on that cradle so it's lower in the back. Should make it easier to get it out. But, that's the bus, that's the project. Stay tuned.